Good evening and welcome to Travel Talk with Lorie
and Bill.
We're here tonight to talk about what we had to do to board the Carnival Mardi Gras a couple of weeks ago. So we thought we would come and explain all the rules and regulations that we had to go through in order to board the Mardi Gras from the time we got into the parking garage until the time we boarded the ship.
Yep.
So when we were lucky enough to book our cruise, we were told if we were vaccinated, we would not be wearing masks and we would not have to COVID test. But that changed within about 7 days.
Yes.
And we found out that we would have to COVID test before we boarded. We'd have to have a negative COVID test. We would also have to present our vaccination card when we were checking in. Also, we were going to have to wear a mask. We had to wear masks through the terminal when we checked in. Once we left the parking garage and headed toward the terminal, we had to put our mask on.
Yes.
And of course, getting into the terminal, we had to have our boarding pass, which is normal. We also had to have our passport, which was our government ID. And then we had to have a negative COVID test. We took the rapid antigen test, which is one of the ones that's approved by Carnival Cruise Line to take. We ended up being in Central Florida, so we had to find out what we had to do to test in Central Florida. But we were able to find a local independent lab that was testing.
Yep.
We did have to pay for our test because Walgreens and CVS were just backed up and the test would not have been back in time. Now, if you're leaving from here, from this area to cruise, the best thing to do is, you know when you're going to cruise, get online and as early as you can schedule that test 3 days out is when you need to schedule it at CVS or Walgreens. CVS and Walgreens do those the drive-through window tests where you drive through and they give you the stuff to do it yourself. The independent lab we went to in Florida, in Orlando, we went in and they actually did the test for us.
Yep.
Okay, it was very well done, it was very quick. By the time we got back to our resort, within 15 minutes we had our negative results and I was able to print those. Now you can either take in that information digital or printed. I always think about my phone is not going to work in a terminal. The signal is just not going to be there. So I'm the one that says I've got to have it on paper. And so I was adamant that we were going to print it out and I was going to have it, and I did. So we got into the terminal to check in. Our number came up and we were up to check in. So we hand over our boarding pass, we hand over our passports, and they asked for our negative results, which we had.
Yep.
And so what we had the test we had taken, the rapid antigen test was taken. The negative was what we were required to have. And of course, we were allowed to wait over further in the terminal till we could board.
Yes.
Now, the whole check-in process from the time we got in the line in the terminal until we were allowed to go further into the terminal was probably, 15 minutes?
At the most.
Yeah,
yes.
15 minutes
Yes.
at the most. I don't think it was more than about 10 minutes.
Probably one of the fastest we've gotten through the terminal.
It was extremely fast. And what they also did was, because where the Carnival Mardi Gras sells that off is a brand new terminal, they were able to scan our passport with a picture into their system, which really came helpful when we came back in. And we'll talk about what happened when we got off the Mardi Gras in just a few minutes. But we were in the terminal waiting to board the ship probably another 10, 12 minutes before we were actually called. Our boarding number was called. We were able to board the Carnival Mardi Gras. And that was an awesome experience when you board on deck 6 and see all those awesome windows that you can see so much out of. and it was just huge.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
such an awesome way to board. Also, when we boarded, we were told that we need to go ahead and check in for our muster station.
Right.
Which I was really excited about, because you checked in, you went to your muster station, and they checked you in. You had to be walked through how to put your life preservers on. They talked to you a few minutes, and that was all it was to it. And it was very fast, I thought, very quick.
Yeah. I think we were there maybe 2 minutes.
I think I no more than 5. I know we weren't there any more than 5. And of course, then we were able to go and eat.
Yeah.
Which was what I was looking forward to, was eating, okay? And of course, we headed for Italian first. So we did pizza, we did Italian sandwiches, which was really great, which was right up my alley, okay? Love the pizza, and those Italian sandwiches on board the Mardi Gras were wonderful.
Yes, they were.
Were wonderful.
The pizza's available 24 hours a day on there.
And right away, we started noticing, okay, how many seniors that were on board the ship. And how many of them were so glad to be back on board, and they were all having fun, they were having a good time, and they were all very relaxed acting, when they were on board, when we met them. Now, there were other areas we had to wear a mask. We had to wear a mask when we rode an elevator.
Yes.
Everybody had to mask up in the elevator. We personally did a lot of stair climbing, because climbing the stairs, going down the stairs.
Not up, mostly down.
Right, but you have to wear your mask, okay? We did a few up. We did do a few up, okay? We did do a few up. And of course, once we got through with lunch and we were able to head up and get into our cabin at 1:30, which was wonderful, because we could get in and drop off what we had carried on as part of our luggage, which was my laptop and the book bag we carried on. We were able to put those in the room by 1:30. We were able to meet our cabin steward, which was amazing when he came to the door and said, "We are still cleaning either in the morning or at night. So instead of twice a day, you got it cleaned one time a day." And I'm really spoiled, because I like them coming in and cleaning every day.
Yeah.
That's just a great world for me. And we had just been in a resort in Orlando before we boarded the Mardi Gras. And when we checked in at the resort, they were really adamant to let us know, we will not come in and clean your room the entire week you're here. And if you want to take your trash out, set it outside the front door.
Yep.
If you need clean towels, let us know, okay? But on the Mardi Gras, he came in every day. He cleaned. He emptied trash. He made our bed. He cleaned our bathroom. The room was extremely clean when we came back, which was really nice for us.
And we had towel animals on the bed.
Yes, and we had towel animals on the board, on board the bed.
Bed. Yep.
Yes, because that was the one thing I asked him. I said, "We're still getting towel animals." He said, "Yes. Yes, you are."
And he also said, if you don't need your towels clean, just hang them up. If you need them clean, just throw them on the floor in the shower. So I'd hang our towels up when we had fresh towels every day.
Yes, we did. We did. He was really good about changing them out every day, okay? But it was just nice to know they are still cleaning as usual.
Yes.
And you saw these guys all throughout the ship cleaning. We got some pictures we're going to start seeing, which will show you. We boarded with our masks. I took pictures of the masks that we had on. So here we are in the terminal with our mask on.
Yep.
Right here, both of us in mask, okay? And there's a couple more coming up that's going to show you right here. We were on the Mardi Gras, and I wanted to make sure I got a picture of this, the Mardi Gras.
Look at the difference between the new one and the original one. How much bigger the new Mardi Gras actually is.
Yep, and there I am with my mask on.
Yep.
Which was really important when we first boarded. Now, this was at the Military Appreciation Gathering, which we always do, being that Bill is retired Navy. We always do it, and so this was at the Military Appreciation Gathering in the theater, where we had to wear masks while the presentation was going on. And I thought at first 45 minutes to an hour with a mask on was going to be a chore for me, but you know what, it wasn't. It was a very nice atmosphere. Everybody was very relaxed.
About the only thing they did different on this cruise compared to other cruises is they normally take all of us veterans up on the stage and take a group picture. Well, what they did this time is the camera person got up on the stage and took a picture of all of us out in the audience. So that was about the only difference, but it was still, a great time. Brothers in arms coming together.
It was, and it's always a very nice event to go to the Military Appreciation Gathering. And me and some other people in there were talking about how, everybody on board the ship should have been there to respect these guys that did time in the military. So it's a very well done presentation for the military, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of thank you for the military. And here we are, we got off in San Juan. When we got off in San Juan, Puerto Rico, we had to get off the Mardi Gras wearing our mask, all of us that were vaccinated. We wore masks coming into San Juan. So here I am where you can see the Mardi Gras, the ship. See how big she is compared to some of the other cruise ships. And just see that we did wear masks getting off, going into port in San Juan.
She's longer than the USS Nimitz, which was at one time the largest aircraft carrier. She is 1,142 foot long, which is a monster of a ship. And let me tell you, we were getting our steps in every day walking that ship because it was just so gorgeous on board.
And we had areas where we wore masks. We wore masks into dining. But of course, we checked in on our phone and we got our table number. So when you came in and checked in, you gave them your table number. And you probably waited 2 or 3 minutes before they seated you most of the time.
If that.
And then, of course, you got set at your table. And once you were seated, you could remove your mask. Now, the crew wore masks. And, of course, here we are going into Amber Cove.
Yep.
And this shows how we got into Amber Cove. Because I'm going to tell you, those guys on those little bicycle carts were just awesome, in my opinion, okay? That was the best ride. I think about my granddaughter sometimes talking about the first ride of the day at Disney World. This was the first ride of the day, okay, for Grandma Lorie. I definitely enjoyed riding into Amber Cove in that and riding back to the Mardi Gras in it. But there again, we had to get off board that ship with a mask on.
Yep.
And only vaccinated passengers were allowed to get off in San Juan and Amber Cove. And of course we did, and it was a very nice experience. But these guys pedaling had masks on.
Yep. Yep.
So, we did get off with it, and we were very respectful that they wanted us to wear masks when we got off.
And they only work for tips.
Yes, and these guys only work for tips. So, we were very happy to have them take us into Amber Cove and back. And, of course, we tipped quite well.
Yep.
For the ride in and out. So, and I thought it was a very good experience.
Yep.
On this. So if you're ever in Amber Cove, look for these guys on the bicycles.
Number 15.
Number 15. He was awesome taking us in. He definitely was, okay? So, of course, we wore masks. Now, here is one of the crew members cleaning, because that's also another thing that I want to point out on a cruise ship. They have always been extremely clean, and now during this time, they are doing extra cleaning, so they're out wiping down any area anybody can touch multiple times a day. They wipe off handrails. They clean the buttons on the elevators. As you see, this guy is cleaning.
What I found amazing was with Carnival, all their crew wore a button on their shirts or lapels or whatever, and it is the smile behind the mask. It shows a picture of each crew member's face.
Yes, because all the crew wore a mask
at all times.
At all times, okay? They never took their mask off when there were guests around.
Here's some more cleaning going on.
Yes, here this guy's cleaning. Yep, here's another picture
This
of the guy
was, what,
cleaning.
about 10 o'clock at night?
I think this was that morning.
One of the two. They're always cleaning.
They're always cleaning. And I did take some at 10 o'clock at night, but I think this was during the day when he was cleaning. But they were cleaning constantly, all day, up and down the hallways.
Up and down the stairwells, in the elevators. It was nothing to catch a crew member in the elevator with cleaning gear with them.
That they were cleaning constantly. They really were. Yes, they were. Yep.
And the thing that really amazed me was the hand washing and sanitizing stations they had on board.
Yep, and we're right here.
There it is, right
Here's
there.
a hand washing station. Now, they've had these on their Carnival cruise ships before, but I think they are bigger on the Mardi Gras.
Yes.
And of course, they were standing out front, outside. A lot of the crew members were coming into the Lido area.
Make sure you hit the...
asking you to either hand sanitize or wash your hands.
Yep.
So I think this was really important. Of course, we used these a lot.
Yeah.
And I like these hand washing stations.
Yeah.
I really like these hand washing stations. But like I say, they were so accessible, plus all the hand sanitizer that you normally see. Of course, you saw more of it on the Mardi Gras, but they're all over everywhere. And here's a good picture of one right here, the hand sanitizing. where you could sanitize your hands. They were especially in all the areas going into the food. Like I think this one was close to Shaq's Big Chicken.
Yeah, because there's Shaq's hands on the wall.
Yep, I think this was close to Shaq's Big Chicken. So they were all over those areas. Every dining room when you went in had hand sanitizer going in.
Yep.
Yep. And this tells you about stop germs, wash your hands. And I thought these were nice. They were posted all around the ship, especially going into any of the dining areas. It talked about the importance of washing your hands. Just a nice little reminder to wash your hands.
All the restrooms also.
Yes, definitely in the restrooms too. Yes, definitely in the restrooms about washing your hands.
In the restrooms on the Mardi Gras, to get into them, you just waved your hand in front of this button and the door would open automatically.
Yes. Now, the next few pictures are going to show you a lot of the crew wearing masks. Here's the lady working at Bonsai Sushi.
Yep.
She was like the receptionist there. She was wearing a mask and she was very pleasant. You could tell she was smiling behind the mask by her eyes.
Yep.
She was very pleasant to deal with. We stopped in to take pictures and she was very nice with us. Here is our head waiter in the dining room, okay, most nights. We were lucky enough to be at his table. He had to wear his mask the entire time we were in the dining room. But there again, you can tell behind his mask, he was smiling by looking at his eyes.
Oh, he was very happy because he was 15 months out of work.
Yes, and they were all very happy, okay? And of course, they all had to wear the mask to work, and they were all so happy to be back at work.
Yep.
And so thankful that we were back on board.
All it took was one seating at his table, and he knew what we were drinking the rest of the cruise.
Yes, and that's one of the things I love about sailing. That's one of the things I love about being on a cruise, because they remember what you're drinking. They remember a lot about what you're eating.
Yep.
What types of food you lean toward, what types of food you don't.
He wouldn't even ask me about my appetizer. He just put down shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, because he knew you were getting it every night, okay? He knew every night. A lot of nights you get the chocolate melting cake for dessert. And so he knew, okay? Yep. Now, here was another one of our favorite places. This was the Bar de la Rosa. We got a lot of Pepsi Zeros here. We got specialty coffees here. And there again, you see the mask. And she was very happy to be behind that bar working, even though she was having to wear a mask.
Yep.
Very happy employees. Now, here is one of my favorite scenes from the cruise. Off our balcony, the sun is setting.
Yep.
And this is just a gorgeous picture with the gorgeous colors in the sky.
And calm water.
Right. And of course, you know, we got a balcony, our private balcony off of our room. So that was like our little personal area, no mask. Now, most all the areas where you were in the swimming, at the pool, laying out in the sun, in a hot tub, were also areas where you did not have to wear a mask.
And the ship did not feel crowded at all. We had, 70% occupancy on board?
We did. So,
and no areas seemed crowded at all.
Well, we had 4,000 people sailing on the Carnival Mardi Gras the third week out. So the ship had only sailed 2 weeks prior to the week we sailed. So she's still practically a brand new ship. Here is another picture off our balcony. It shows some of the balconies around us. But the main thing here is just looking at how calm the water was and how beautiful the sky was. I mean, these are just my favorite pictures you can take off the balcony, are these ones like this.
Yep. It was a excellent cruise.
It was. And here's another one.
That's a sun coming up.
Yep, that's the sun rising. Look how blue the water was. And of course, if you can see down from our balcony, straight down was the Havana balconies. You could see those Havana cabins.
2 decks below us.
Yep, 2 decks below us. So we could see those. But yep. I mean, everybody knows I want to be on my balcony having coffee first thing in the morning.
Yep.
I'm going to step out last thing at night. So we're going to take a little break now, and we're going to watch a few little videos, and then we'll be back to talk some more about what we did when we disembarked, when we got back to Port Canaveral.
Okay.
So let's watch these little videos.
Big chicken, mi amore, sky ride, how I missed you so. Trips to Half Moon Cay, beaches take your breath away. Carnival, back to fun. It's been so long since we had fun, so let's spend time in the sun. Bring your flippy flopso and prepare for lots of splash-o. All aboard the fun ship, come dance with your hippie hips. Guys, burger mi amore, sky ride, how I missed you so. Trips to Half Moon Cay, beaches take your breath away. Just do not forget to pack some sunscreen. Carnival, back to fun.
A Carnival cruise isn't just a vacation. It's an experience you take with you, even after it's over. It's the stories you share, the photos you frame, the memories you relive with the people who matter most. Since 1972, millions of moments have been made with us. And every one of those experiences makes us who we are. Families reconnect, friendships are formed, people come together to build memories that they'll keep forever. What will yours be?
We at Carnival believe fun is a choice, but it isn't always an easy one. We get it. You've got stuff going on. Work stuff, life stuff, stressy stuff. Fortunately, we created an escape from all that stuff. 45 years ago, a man set out with a second-hand ship and a belief. Cruising should be accessible to everyone, because we all need more fun. A belief passed down from father to son, ship to ship. That's why fun is in our DNA. Our very makeup, tirelessly tested again and again, day and night. Fun isn't always a nice to have, it's a necessity. It makes you a better person, a better parent, a better friend. It helps you live your best life. So, carpe that diem. Sure, you might look a little silly doing it, but holy sea cow, doesn't it feel so freeing? This is how lives are meant to be lived. And look, we know fun's relative. His fun is different from her fun, is different from theirs, it's different from yours. Maybe your fun is flying down a giant water slide, or racing through the sky, or simply taking a moment to let out a deep nice, right? But here's the thing, fun doesn't just happen. You have to want it. You have to opt in. You've got to grab fun when it floats your way. After 45 years and 80 million guests, we still believe one thing. Fun is a choice. We're here to make it an easy one. So let's do this. Carnival. Choose fun.
And we just want to let you know that cruising was fun.
Yes,
even
it
with all the
was.
new requirements we had to do. And I worried about to start with, we having to wear a mask and how it was going to be. But it was enjoyable and it was like normal to me, okay?
Yeah.
It was normal, it was fun, okay? So we want you to know that you can cruise and have a normal, fun time, even in today's world.
Yes.
And as far as, we had a lot of seniors on board that ship, a lot of seniors that were doing what they call back-to-backs, that were not getting off when we got off in Port Canaveral.
Yep.
That were selling for 2 cruises or 3. We met one couple that was going to be on there for 3 weeks.
Yep.
They were selling, and they were senior citizens, and they were so happy to be back on board.
Yeah.
They were talking about the cruises they had missed in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And they were so glad to be back. Then we got back into Port Canaveral, because everywhere we got off, we had to wear masks. Even if we had gotten off in Nassau, we would have had to gotten off with masks on. So when we arrived back into Port Canaveral, they had streamlined the disembarkation protocols. And it was so easy when we had to wait.
They called us by zone.
They called us by zone, or they called you by your muster station zone, depending on whether you're taking your bags off ship or not. I'm one of those lazy cruisers. I like to have them take my bags off, and I like to have that porter take them out to the vehicle. Okay, that's me. Okay, I like that. Okay, I'm a spoiled cruiser.
Yep.
So we had a zone, and we had to be out of our staterooms by 8:30.
Yes.
And by 8 o'clock, they were calling our zone.
Yes.
And it was very easy to get down to deck 6 to disembark. I was amazed at how the elevators were moving, and how it was not a backup like you see on other ships.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I know that we were at 70% capacity, but it was just easy. It flowed very well, and we came off wearing our masks to go
Yep.
back through the terminal. We had to clear customs first, and when we entered the terminal to check in on embarkation day, they had scanned our passports and our pictures in. So when we got off and we came back in, because we had passports, they put us in the line for passports, and they scanned our faces, which matched how we scanned in to get on board the Mardi Gras. So we didn't have to go through the normal customs because they did it all by facial recognition.
So you just had to pop your mask off and pop your hat off. and-
Right, so they could see, exactly. And then, of course, you put your mask back on, you went over to where your luggage was, and in our case, we grabbed a porter. And he
Like we
grabbed,
always do.
Yep, he grabbed our luggage, and there we went to the garage. And, of course, Bill actually went up and got the car, because we were parked on the second floor. But it was normal, because
Yep.
normally we would have a porter, okay? So when I say it was a normal experience, I got all the normal spoiling,
Yep.
having to be able to drop my luggage off with a porter when we boarded.
Yep.
Okay? I will confess, I didn't take but one suitcase this time. Had I known for sure that porter was going to be there, I may have had 2 suitcases, but I didn't, okay? I actually cruised with one big suitcase,
That was a first.
which was amazing, okay? It was amazing for me, okay? I didn't have but 3 outfits I didn't wear the entire time, which was huge for me.
Yep.
Because normally I have a whole another week's worth of clothes.
Yep.
So we are here, and we want for you to, if you have questions about if we felt it was safe and the protocols that went on, we're here to help you understand what the cruise lines are saying, or any kind of travel, because you still are wearing masks when you're on a plane.
Yep.
You're still having to jump through some kind of regulations when you go, even if you go into the Caribbean or Mexico for an all-inclusive. But we're here, and we keep up to date on all these new rules and regulations. We want you to know that it's safe. There are a certain amount of unvaccinated cruisers that are able to cruise, and they have to get exemptions, and every cruise line is different. So if you're cruising on Carnival, we can show you the exemptions that you can apply for. Or if you're cruising on Norwegian or Royal Caribbean or Princess, each one has different requirements and different rules going on now. So if you're looking to travel, if you're looking to cruise, we're the people you want to talk with. Now, before we leave tonight, we want to thank our sponsor, Rocky Mount Toyota, because we're able to get up here and talk with you about travel every week because they sponsor us. And
Yep.
if you're looking for a new car or a used vehicle, Rocky Mount Toyota is the place to go. They are fantastic people, and they help everybody, and they make you feel like you're the king and queen when you're in there.
Yep. It was one of the smoothest times we've ever had buying a vehicle was through Rocky Mount Toyota.
Exactly. So if you're thinking about a new vehicle, whether it's a pre-owned or a new one, go out and check out our folks at Rocky Mount Toyota, because they'll be glad to help you. Let them know we sent you from Coffee Mug Travel, and they'll give you that extra little queen and king treatment. So next week, we are probably going to be talking about food on the Carnival Mardi Gras. I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but we're going to be showing you some pictures of meals we enjoyed, coffee we enjoyed, and definitely my strawberry yogurt that I enjoyed every other day.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be talking food next week that was on the Mardi Gras, and making you want to be on that cruise ship having fun and enjoying all that delicious food they have to offer. Between now and then, if you're looking to talk with us, the web address is up here on the screen, www.coffeemugtravel.com, or 252-379-1581, or run into me in a coffee shop, because I'm there and you definitely can hear me talking.
Yeah, that's a voice you'll never forget.
So just tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, I know you from WHIG. Let's talk travel. So we'll see you next week. I hope everyone has a great, fantastic rest of their week.
Y'all have a blessed week.
Until next week, we'll see you then.